Hi. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to use the famous webhook URL that you have in widgets. To find it, just go to one of your editorial calendars. We'll go back to the home. So to one of your editorial calendars, I'll click here. Then I'll go to widgets, and at the very bottom of widgets, you'll find the card that corresponds to the webhook URL. So I'm going to show you how to use this URL, and especially how convenient it is to have it directly integrated into your Notion. Assuming, as a side note, that you have already properly connected your editorial calendar with scheduled and then added your first social connection here, everything is already set up. If that's not the case and you're still struggling a bit with it, don't hesitate to watch the first tutorial that really shows you step by step how to connect Notion with scheduled and how to add your first social connection. So this is going to be really handy, first of all, to get a good grasp of the tool and build your confidence to then use these little tips and shortcuts that will save you time. So here is the famous webhook URL. We're going to take advantage of a new feature on Notion, which is the webhook, and it will allow you to trigger this scheduled directly from Notion and even directly from your post to schedule it. So first thing, we're going to copy this link so we have it, and then we'll go directly to Notion. So for the webhook, actually, you're going to create a new property. So what we're going to do is add a new property here. Since it's a button, my Notion is in English, but you can easily find it in French by typing button. So here, you will type button. You will type here by the label. You will put schedule with scheduled, like this. And then we will modify this automation. So we will click here. We will also take the opportunity to modify because it copies the label for the button name. We will put schedule directly here. And so here. So what it says is that once we click the button, we want something to happen. So the action we're going to set is the webhook here. You type webhook, you should find the same thing. So here, we're simply going to paste the URL, the one we had just before. So you remember here, we had copied this URL. So this is for the webhook. So here you put that. No need to check anything else afterward. You don't need to. So it will trigger scheduled, and it will come to check since it already has access to your database. It will come to see if there are any new posts ready to be scheduled. So now you just save all that. It has added the button just the way you want. Super handy already. And what I like to do now is modify the layout to actually place my button, all my buttons, at the top. So here, you see there's another nice little button. There's also a video on it, but I'm actually going to use my preview button, so I'll add it to favorites. Basically, it says to do that, so my button appears at the top. So I've applied this to all my pages, and here you see that I have my schedule button. So there, you can name it however you want. There are no rules. I named it like this. You can add emojis to make it look cooler if you want, but basically, you do it your way. Once that's done, we've copied and pasted the link, etc. And actually, that's all good. Now, for example, I have my post ready. We're going to intentionally make a mistake by not adding any text. For your LinkedIn post to be scheduled, it needs to have text. So here, we're just going to trigger scheduled, and you'll see that it confirms that your button worked correctly, scheduled, as it retrieved your post because you set the right properties. By the way, if you see that you don't get any message, it means there's an issue somewhere. Usually, it comes from the 3 required properties. Either the status isn't correct, the publication date, or the connection. Don't hesitate to do a quick refresh, because sometimes when you modify something and click right away, Notion doesn't immediately pick up the change. If you see that when you click, you don't get a confirmation within a maximum of 10-15 seconds, don't hesitate to make changes. For example, wait a little, make some modifications, change this or that. Wait a bit more, add your connection to properly update your post. Once that's done, if I click again, it might recognize my modification and say, hey, the post has been updated, but is it okay? See? It acknowledged my modification, but my post is still not okay. So it sent me an error message saying I need to add some text. So that's what we'll do. I'll write hello LinkedIn. There. I will then click on schedule again. So there you go. And now it should see that there has been a modification and take it into account. There you go. So it will send me a success message to tell me that your post is scheduled. So that's it. Very practical. You saw directly in your post. You click on schedule, and at least you have the confirmation. Your post is scheduled. It's really immediate, and it's so cool because now you can really go schedule your posts on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook from Notion, really with just one click. So that's great. There you go. I've told you everything in this video. Well, have fun, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate.